curveballs, and I waited all day. I'm patient. He's a busy guy, but it's amazing. This is his first Red River with the Houston Chronicle. He did the others all with the Austin American Statesman, and I first became aware of him.
Are we in the 40s or the 50s?
I first became aware of him and watched him and observed him at the SEC Media Days when Texas announced they were coming to the SEC. He started coming to the and I did some research on him, and then he came on with us on Radio Row and told us this will be his 51st consecutive Red River as a reporter. He said much like Chip, he said he told Scott and I, you have to come one time. He goes, it's the best game. He said, I'm biased, but he said it's the best rivalry game because he goes, it's one of the few that's still cut right down the middle.
Yeah, I've never been to a game like that. It's usually cut,
He said there's
Georgia,
Texas fans
Florida
sitting next to Oklahoma fans.
One side and the other still.
But this one's like straight down the middle. And then he was talking about the corny dogs. And then Scott started researching the rest of it.
And then Chip alerted
us.
Now,
Scott did not hear about the funnel cake burger with bacon.
And if he's listening right now, he's researching it.
And the extra sugar with Dr. Pepper.
That scared me a little bit. I mean, somebody sent me a picture today of Oreo Dr. Pepper, zero sugar. And I said, and he goes, how the hell is this possible? And I said, I don't know.
They can put anything on these labels.
Well, there's that too. Had an opportunity to talk to Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian yesterday.
So just game planning and scheming for a Brent Venables defense. How challenging is that from your standpoint, Coach?
Really challenging. Like I said, he's one of the best in the country at doing it. He's like I said, his teams play hard. They play with great effort. They're physical. They're tough. Very ball aware, opportunistic, creating turnovers, and so. And then he's got a multitude of defenses, so it's definitely a heck of a challenge.
And the freshman quarterback in Hawkins, what impressed you about that? The last one.
I think the one thing about Hawkins is he's got a skill set to where he's more than capable of a passer, and they use him obviously on some designed runs and things, and that's hurt people too. But really in the Auburn game, the first touchdown run that he had was a pass, and now you're starting to defend receivers, and then Auburn got out of their rush lanes, and he was able to split them right down the middle of the field for about a 50-yard touchdown run, and he showed elite speed and elusiveness. And so that's probably the challenge, is that he's the versatility that he has, his ability to throw it, his ability to run it on design runs, and then his ability to tuck it and run on pass plays. And so that stresses you from a defensive perspective.
That is Steve Sarkisian.
So, I don't share I get Texas is favored and should be favored.
Mm-hmm.
But Oklahoma has the best defense.
Yeah.
And that's not questionable in this game. And so, obviously, Quinn Ewers would be the best quarterback. But when you got a good defense,
solid QB.
And what he does, well, I don't know. The QB is
freshman. He's a freshman.
Yeah, it'll be because of the quarterback if they lose the game. They can't turn the ball over. They can't give Texas anything easy, and then that makes the turnovers count, right?
Texas is a 14.5-point favorite in this game.
I'm actually surprised it's not a bigger number, but that's just me because I don't know. Only because OU, if they had all their dudes, like all their receivers, even with a freshman quarterback, I think it would be around that number or maybe even closer, maybe 9 or 10. But they've been without 5 of them, 4 of them. They just don't have a lot of guys. The O-line has struggled. They haven't run the ball all that well. And it's just, to me, and then to top it all off, Texas now knows they have 2 quarterbacks, because if Ewers gets hurt again for the 100th time, you got Bust Proof coming in, and he's going to play at least pretty well. I mean, he'll not make a mistake or two, but he's still good enough to win.
So this is a different deal, though. He's been playing.
I know, against directional school.
Yeah, this is a different deal. What Oklahoma's done and been able to do it to Sark, I've seen it. They trick them into plays. They know their checks, and they trick them into their checks. And when they do that, they got you. And you can have all the statistics in the world, but if Oklahoma get the lead somehow, what's going to come to Texas' mind? They're 1-9 the last 10 games, right?
I
think that's the number. It's
maybe you're thinking of Bama, Georgia.
No, yeah. Well, that'd be an accurate number for that as well.
But
maybe it's better than 1-9, but it's not much better. I know Oklahoma's dominated the series.
Well, right now 1-23 hurts.
Yeah,
because of the one.
Oklahoma lost in 22 and in 18, but everything else has been boomer. They won last year 34-30. Lost 49-0 in 2022.
No, Oklahoma dominated the Big 12 for the most part. I mean, they've dominated.
That's what Chip was saying. This is the SEC. This is a different animal.
I mean,
but this game's the same.
It is.
That's what I'm saying. So you just gotta, in rivalry games, it doesn't matter what the line is. That's what I found.
Brent Venables has faced Texas 15 times as a member of the coaching staff for Oklahoma. He's 9-6.
Yeah. Because he was with Stoops for a long time.
Yep.
As a co-DC.
Let's go ahead and take our final time out here in this first hour. We're live here from Full Moon Barbecue. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
It's an amazing time in our industry. Things are changing so rapidly. With digital signatures and workflow software, we help our customers work from anywhere. This helps you save time and money and upgrade your technology. Like I said, it's an amazing time to watch our customers grow and succeed.
Just ask anyone. Alliance Secret.
77 countries worked in, over 150 projects, 35 years combined experience. This is what the team at Rocket City Federal Solution brings to the table all over the world, headed by CEO Jason Largent. These great Americans handle everything from IT and cybersecurity to operational and maintenance services for critical infrastructure. They also specialize in the management and maintenance of critical systems, ensuring that essential infrastructure operates without interruption. Learn more at RocketCityFederalSolutions.com.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at JetSuperstore.com.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Take it to the house this football season with the Alabama Manufactured Housing Association. If Alabama or Auburn returns their first received kickoff in the second half for a touchdown at a home SEC game, one lucky fan will win up to a $75,000 down payment towards the purchase of a manufactured home from an authorized AMHA dealer. Don't miss your chance to take it to the house this season and win a beautiful manufactured home. Register to win today at auburntigers.com/ticket-to-the-house or rolltide.com/ticket-to-the-house. Certain terms and conditions may apply. To learn more, visit alamha.org.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Plenty of sunshine. Going to be a beautiful day across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s. We're dropping into the lower 50s as we head into the overnight early into your Friday morning. Plenty of sunshine Friday afternoon. Once again, temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s. These numbers are just at or just below where we should be as we approach the middle part of October. We drop into the upper 40s, lower 50s as we head into the earliest hours of Saturday morning. A mostly sunny sky Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I did not look up where game day is. I'm assuming they're in Eugene for the Ohio State-Oregon.
I would think so, even though I think Oregon's overrated.
Well, we'll find out. Our conversations with Drew DeArmond Weekly brought to you by Environmental Comfort Systems, located online at envcomfort.com. It's always a struggle to get Drew out to these places like Full Moon Barbecue. So
I turn down hamburgers and hot dogs for free to come here.
So my apologies for that. They're from the fine folks at Huntsville High School.
Yeah, I love the Crimson Panthers, and I just let the kids make sure they all got fed. I did not partake
because you knew where you were coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Full Moon Barbecue.
Exactly. I mean, the last time I was here, I came here by myself on lunch, and I had the smoked turkey and the chicken.
So Drew,
it was amazing.
Drew always orders something a little different.
I try to.
But he's come up with a little concoction here, and actually I came up with his order that they put all the bag in one bag.
He got my food, so they gave me more.
So it is really not bad. It's a grilled cheese. So it's a grilled cheese, and you just add pulled pork on it.
Yeah, it's really good. I call it the DeArmond.
Yeah, the DeArmond.
It's really good. It's not on the menu. It's a secret menu item.
Yeah, that's right. It's off menu. Now we just need a funnel cake and some bacon.
You know what, Steve? You just gave me an idea. I may get one today. I may change it today. It may be a grilled cheese with pulled pork and bacon.
Ooh.
I haven't tried bacon yet on it.
That would be good, I think.
You just gave me an idea, Steve.
There you go.
Okay.
Of course, the meetings are going on. In fact, I think they have just concluded as they were talking the SEC and the Big Ten. Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti, this was tweeted out by Nicole Auerbach, quote, notions that college football is somehow broken is just not right, end quote. Just thought I'd let that sink in for a second. Notions that college football is somehow broken is just not right.
Wow.
That's the commissioner of the Big Ten, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, yeah, but they have the highest paid conference, even if they can't play with the SEC. Because we really don't. We're going to learn a lot about Ohio State this weekend, too, because it's been one tomato can after another.
Yeah.
And it's so funny about these bigger conferences. A lot of the first month and a half of the season, you're not playing anybody, and so you don't really know. And then all of a sudden, and then it's also how you respond to adversity. I'll give Kentucky a lot of credit. It was an unmitigated disaster
against South Carolina
at home. And then they come back and they almost beat Georgia, and then they beat Ole Miss. So good for Coach Stoops.
Yeah.
I mean, I know our favorite person called in here yesterday and had a meltdown, and I didn't even listen to it.
It was great.
But still,
great.
I've told him, I said, and I think they're going to beat Vanderbilt.
I'm still D2 Moulton,
just simply because I just think it's a bad matchup for Vanderbilt right after Alabama.
And I think that Mark Stoops is one of the better defensive coaches in the country.
Mm-hmm.
He is. There's no question.
And his guys probably be more disciplined than Alabama's guys.
Something else that Nicole Auerbach tweeted out, both Petitti and Sankey mentioned strength of schedule and how the selection committee evaluates teams, seeds, in particular this year, over the first 12-team playoff. And so I think that is a real good point to bring up of strength of schedule, and somehow if both the Big Ten and the SEC could play each other, to strengthen said strength of schedule where more of their teams could go in to the playoff. So
Texas played Michigan.
That's true, but we'll see we'll see more of that.
And so did Washington.
And Alabama
neither came
played
out,
Wisconsin.
neither went well for Michigan.
Yeah.
Again, we are here at Full Moon Barbecue. We'll have a Sports Center update, and then we'll have a few more minutes to spend with you as we're walking you up to some Thursday night football right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. We'll be right back after this Sports Center timeout.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
The ESPN app and on SiriusXM. WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. This is SportsCenter.
A pair of crucial game fours in the ALDS. I'm Chris Smith. Cleveland had gone 20 straight innings without scoring since opening the series, but they drew first blood with a Lane Thomas RBI single in the first inning. But Detroit answers in the second with a sac fly. Now the Guardians and Tigers knotted up a one apiece in the top of the third. Catch the action on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Later, the Yankees will look to finish off the Royals at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. And on to the NFL, where Jets intern coach Jeff Ulbrich stripped the play-calling duties of offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett in favor of passing game coordinator Todd Downing. Now, there will be no title changes, and ESPN Mina Kimes says this tells you everything you need to know.
It only reinforces what we already know, which is this is Aaron Rodgers' team. He is, regardless of what he says, very much in control of everything that happens. And that's why I'm sort of skeptical that this play-calling change is going to solve things for the Jets. It's entirely possible that he improves upon Nathaniel Hackett in terms of sequencing, maybe some of the game day execution stuff, game planning for opponents, sure. But the offense is going to be the same.
Ulbrich said he discussed it with Aaron Rodgers, and he would also remain as defensive coordinator, continue to call plays. College hoops, Big 12 coaches tabbed Kansas as a preseason favorite to win a conference that had 9 of its current teams make the NCAA tournament last season. With coaches not allowed to vote for their own squads, Kansas got 9 of the 15 possible first-place votes. Houston got 5, while Iowa State and Arizona split the other 2.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Friday. Lamar versus Jaden Daniels, Ravens versus Commanders. I'll tell you why we just might be watching a Super Bowl preview. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
The full rundown of conference games this weekend includes Ole Miss at LSU. We heard from both Brian Kelly and Lane Kiffin yesterday. Also, Georgia playing host to Mississippi State. South Carolina's at Alabama. Texas and Oklahoma play center stage there at the Cotton Bowl. And Florida and Tennessee. This is the 54th meeting all time between the two schools. I spoke with both head coaches yesterday. And here is my conversation with Billy Napier.
Wanted to ask about what you saw defensively from Oklahoma and Arkansas that have just what you saw in those particular schemes against the Vol offense, Coach.
Well, overall, I would say that both teams played really good defense. Just in general, I think that the staff there, T. Will's done a nice job at Arkansas, and I do think that Coach Venables, his history on defense, the effort, the fundamentals, and a mindset. I think both played really good. Gap integrity played really good on all three levels of the defense, and they tackled well. Created favorable down and distances, and then had an opportunity to affect the quarterback. So, in general, just really good fundamental play at all three levels of the defense, and ultimately, I do think that I've got a lot of respect for how both those teams play defense.
That is, I asked him about the hurricane affecting the week's schedule and said that at least the Gainesville campus was closed yesterday and today. And from what I've been told, it's also closed Friday now, too.
I think they left already, too. We had Mark McLeod on our show, and he said that Billy and them got out of Florida.
Yep.
And, we're still comparing. It would just make my year if Florida would beat Tennessee. It really would. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't either.
But I expect Tennessee to win this game by double figures. But I wish that Florida would beat Tennessee again, because heading into the Alabama game, if Alabama could, right the ship against South Carolina and Tennessee, hit a wall, it would please me very much. But,
so I focused a lot on the Vol offense against both Oklahoma and Arkansas. I saw a decent amount of similarities defensively.
Well, they copied a lot of that plan. I mean, they did a good job. I mean, Tennessee still ran the football on both of them, but they did a good job of containing Nico, getting pressure on him, making him make decisions. And, he got pressure. They made him uncomfortable.
I blamed the offensive coordinator at the University of Tennessee. I'm not joking. I blamed the University of Tennessee's offensive coordinator. Here is Josh Heupel.
Coming off of both Oklahoma and Arkansas, listen, my next play calling will be my first, but it seems like that there was similar strategies from what I saw defensively from Oklahoma to Arkansas. That when you go in and kind of reevaluate, how much does that maybe game planning future opponents as to whether or not you're going to see that copycat, Coach?
There was some similarity in the structure. There were some differences in the structure too. During the course of the Arkansas game, I thought we adjusted some things early that gave us a chance. But as much as anything in that football game, we didn't play smart football. First play of the game, we got illegal men downfield on a nice chunk play. There's multiple times where we're playing behind the chains with playing penalties or pre-snap penalties. And, that affected the way, third down, and we weren't good on third and long. So when you combine those two things, that's a huge part of how that game played out. For us in that ball game, some of the things that we did well, first road game in the conference at Oklahoma, not having a bunch of those pre-snap penalties, doing the ordinary things at a really high level, communication, alignment, assignment, technique, getting off on the ball. We didn't do on a Saturday night. And, that's been the challenge for our football team, in particular the offensive side of the ball, is to be better in those things. And we had some communication things on the defensive side of the football too. So coaches and players together got to be better than we were Saturday. And it doesn't have to be anything extraordinary. It's just, everybody doing their job at a really high level.
So if I heard you right, son, I just need to blame the offensive play caller. I'm only messing with you, Coach.
I appreciate it.
I'm only messing with you. I did want to ask about what you saw out of Florida, specifically in the Central Florida game. And you mentioned the improvements. What kind of improvements did you see there, Coach?
Yeah, first of all, their quarterbacks are playing at a really high level, smart, efficient football. They've done a good job running the football here, understanding the style of game that we're going to get into. I mentioned communication. We got to do a great job with all the shift, trade, motion, formation, variation. All the eye candy. We got to handle that extremely well. Offensively for us, their front four looks like a Florida front four. Their back end looks like a Florida back end. Their backers can run. They're physical. I think they're playing, their best football right now. They've continued to get better throughout the course of it. We got to do a great job at the line of scrimmage. That's in the run game. That's in pass protection. Out on the perimeter, there's going to be one-on-one opportunities. You got to go win out on the outside and inside on the slot too. So we understand the challenge that we're getting into with this football team, and expect it to be a great environment and a great game.
That is Josh Heupel.
He said a lot there. Basically, mostly coach speak, though. Just talking about talking to his team about what they need to do, what the difference was when the Oklahoma game, and how well they played in that game and executed in the way they did last week. So, he's just talking to his team, basically. Hey, you can't have pre-snap penalties or get you beat. I forget what the actual statistics are, but they're high. When you get a 5-yard penalty, it is very, very difficult to get a first down. First and 15 and first and 20, they're almost impossible to make. I think they're made probably 15% of the time. Go down drastically.
That was honestly, if you want to go back a couple of games, what was so impressive about Alabama's first drive against Georgia, that was 3 penalties.
Oh, yeah, they had 3 penalties. Yeah. But Alabama's not like everybody else. They have a quarterback that's a freak.
Yeah.
And he can overcome that sometimes, but not all the time. And
even the stupid penalty that should have never happened with the duplicate numbers.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you overcome that, and your defense plays well enough, gets enough stops where you win the game, and it's kind of forgotten about you. But you cuss about it, but then you hope it never happens.
But there were 3 penalties on that drive. That 3 penalties, and I think it's a lot of things happened in that game. One being, you got to trust the guy next to you.
Do your job.
To do your job. Do your job. And it gets confusing, too, when you're a young player.
They had a lot of freshmen in the back end.
Yeah, you're out there and, you do your job, do your job, do your job, do your job, do your job. Then one time you think, I'm going to make a play right here.
Yeah.
And guess who lets you, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It becomes, it's hard to watch. And the Coach Saban was, to me, the best coach ever. And it was quite simple. The second best was Coach Bryant, but they did a lot of the same things. And the things they did was play the next play, right? You can't do anything about that. Do the next play and do your job. Do your job at a high level and continue just to do your job. And as a team, you win. And as Coach DeBoer correctly said, as a team, we lose. They're asking a bunch of different individual questions, and but they got to get those the defense fixed. They do. It's been 6 quarters, and they haven't got many stops on third or no stops on fourth down, I don't believe.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth down's been the booger really. Vanderbilt scored a big touchdown on fourth down. And to be honest with you, that was a well-defense play.
Yeah.
Just a really hell of a play by the quarterback.
Yeah. It's, but moving forward, how much of South Carolina copycatting Vanderbilt are we going to
That's
see?
just not that easy to do, though. You just can't, just like in a game, they go, well, they need to run this play. Well, they hadn't worked on that play. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You cannot put the option in a week. They can run the option. They'll have option praise. They'd be stupid not to, but they're not going to run the same option Vanderbilt run. They can't. You don't have enough time to work on it. Just like Alabama didn't have enough time to prepare for it. It didn't sound like. But we had, Georgia Southern ran the wishbone against Coach Saban. We had the 10 horn. That's the 10 horn game.
That's right.
And then we played who's the team, Drew? The Citadel.
Yeah,
it was 10-10.
10-10 at halftime against Citadel.
Yeah.
That's the thing that just surprised me. In both those games, Alabama was flat, but they finally made adjustments and got stops, and I thought they would when it was 23-21 and they came out of halftime. I was just shocked that they didn't get off the field.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Vanderbilt changed a little bit of what they were doing.
And they had 2 weeks to prepare. People kind of forget that.
Yeah.
Clarkley had nothing to lose. They threw everything at it, and Diego is a really good quarterback.
I think
after what you watched him just brain him, I can't believe he didn't go get him for an RC and a Dr. Pepper like somebody told me, or a moon pie, whatever. Whatever you say.
I wish we'd have got him just to be a backup.
Yeah.
We need to take our one and only timeout as we are walking you up to Thursday night football right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Westwood One will take over at 6:30. So let's go ahead and take our one and only timeout. In fact, Bryce, if you hang on the line, we'll get right to you on the other side of our one and only timeout.
Today, 97.7 ESPN.com. You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. If you work in a dangerous or logistically intense industry, you know good training can be a challenge. There are training costs, safety concerns, and difficulty replicating real-world scenarios. There's a better way used right now in the Army and in all our armed services to better prepare our heroes, and it's available to you in your organizations. Higher Echelon's Game Development Team is revolutionizing learning in military training, dangerous industry, STEM, and sports performance domains with cutting-edge virtual training that immerses you in lifelike scenarios without the cost and safety concerns for trainees. With Higher Echelon's game-based training, you'll experience realistic simulations, precision accuracy, and unparalleled safety. Higher Echelon founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and puts that experience to use. His team has been building cutting-edge virtual training environments for soldiers and clients for a decade. Higher Echelon, the name you can trust for advanced training solutions. Reach out at higherechelon.com to get your free consultation. Go Higher and go Army.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Back here with you on the drive. Final call for phone calls, 256-576-4977. He's West Neighbors. He's Drew Yarman. My name is Steve Moulton, and Bryce is up next. Bryce, I appreciate your patience. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, but Wes, I want to ask you one question. When you come to work Monday, was Steve smiling?
He always is smiling for the most part.
No,
as long as he ate that day.
I'm at full moon. I'm good.
Like he's more enthusiastic. That's the word I'm looking for.
Well,
Did he give you a little grin, because he was glad that we didn't win?
No, I really don't think he thinks like that.
Well, Bryce, I was there on press row. I watched the whole thing.
I root for my team, obviously, but I don't have time or the energy to.
No, I think he wants to see Alabama do good because it's good for our station because they're a thing.
No, if anything, it actually seeing Vanderbilt doing what they did dinged Alabama worse because of the fact that Vanderbilt lost to Georgia State.
Yeah,
and that just hurts the conference.
It hurts the conference, yeah. I don't think he was happy. No,
but the reason why
he was happy after they won and
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
It may have been cold up there, but I was fine.
Yeah,
I was fine.
We should have made him sleep outside that night, but we didn't.
I would. There would have been a workers' comp.
He's not agreeing.
No, he would have filed a grievance like Ray.
Oh wow!
The reason why I said that Georgia got one up on us now since we beat them. That's going to be the tiebreaker because we beat them, but he thinks
head to head.
They're closer to us because we lost.
Head to head's the first tiebreaker.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, all this doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters and it doesn't. Alabama needs to return to winning this week, or it doesn't matter. And if they do win, that makes it not matter. So in essence, we got beat by a good team. Vanderbilt is a good football team who beat Virginia Tech, who's lost to Vanderbilt and Miami, and they should have beat Miami.
Well, and they took Missouri to double overtime.
Yes, I mean, this is not a bad football team.
Their worst game was the Georgia State game because they turned it over 3 times.
Hey, and the best quote of the week on Talking Ball from Kirk Bowles was he gave us his AP top 25 or slash S. Well, actually, it was his
SEC.
No, it was AP top 25. I'm an AP top 25 voter, and his quote was, "And I almost voted the ACC refs 5th."
Well, here's the way I saw
That's
the game
pretty good.
last week. I'm just going to give y'all my opinion. I think
Yes, sir.
Vanderbilt played a perfect game, and we couldn't play any worse. That's what happened.
Yeah, I don't think we played very well defense, but a lot of had to do with Vanderbilt as well. They played well, and Alabama did not tackle well.
No.
And if Alabama gets a couple guys on the ground, the one that comes to mind the most was this 3rd and 8, and the guy catches a 4-yard little out
Red
route.
Morgan.
Yeah, and he didn't get him on the ground. You got to get him on the ground.
Carried for 4 yards.
Yeah, you just can't do that. But his technique was bad. Yeah, well, I mean, and it goes back to them not being able to. But it's all over everywhere. It's not just at Alabama; it's everywhere because they don't practice enough, and that's just where. I'm not complaining about it because it's just a fact.
Yeah.
And you look at the NFL. Look at their techniques in the NFL. I mean, some of them are horrible. So it's just they can't hit. So by the end of the year, they're good though.
Because they're worried about targeting and. And
that's the other thing. Yeah.
Don't bring up target, and I think they kind of missed a couple of them in that one.
Well, I can just say this: they certainly missed one in the Cal Miami game. From he probably had that ref probably got some life wallets.
I want to ask you a question while you're on there, okay? How much airtime did you give Jeff from the Borough Monday morning when he called in?
He actually didn't call.
Oh, he didn't.
He called Tuesday, and he was actually rather subdued. He never brought up the fact that Alabama even lost to Vanderbilt. He started bringing up Midnight Madness and all this other crap that's going on at Kentucky, and then Kentucky having. Then he did mention Kentucky having a chance to beat Vandy, which I even told him I picked Kentucky to win the game, and
Kentucky coming off of a bye after the Ole Miss win.
Yeah, there it is. So, and it's a really physical matchup. Certainly, I hope Vandy wins, but I just have doubts about it.
Oh, I can't wait to listen to that call if they do.
Personally, I just want Florida to upset Tennessee because of Tone.
I
Tony
do too,
Basilio
but
is.
I don't know if that'd be good or bad for us, though.
Well, of course, yeah.
It's never bad when Tennessee loses, ever.
The third Saturday October is next Saturday.
But no, I was just curious. So he didn't call. I figured he'd call in. He knew better than probably do that because he knew it.
He called last night.
Yeah, he called in this particular program.
Last night. Yeah. He did talk to Wes and Steve. I did not hear it, but I heard it was one side.
Bailey, I don't think he's on hold, right?
Yeah, it's a paddle for every ass.
Yeah. I told him. I told him that the only time Kentucky loses is on Saturday.
And it ain't basketball season.
No.
And right now they can't beat Alabama in basketball either. But whatever.
Yeah,
I got it mad because I just said, but you still wanted Nate Oates.
Hey, yeah, they did. I'm on my way to Dallas. I just went through Oxford a while ago. I thought about you, Drew. Wild Turkey and Elaine, if I'd have called him, they'd probably drunk a beer with me, wouldn't he?
Well, they got a tough game Saturday. I want to see that game.
Ole Miss LSU.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's going to be a really good game. It's kind of lose or leave town.
It's kind of LSU doesn't have any conference losses.
But they got a tough schedule coming up.
Yeah, they do have a tough schedule.
They can't beat Ole Miss. They in trouble.
Yeah, well,
I just want to see a T-Bob meltdown.
You're just all about some meltdowns.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss is going to beat them, Drew. I think Ole Miss is going to beat them.
I would pick the Rebels by about a touchdown.
But Drew said that I'm telling you, they're going to have
Trey Harris.
If Trey Harris does not play in this game, which I bet he plays, but if he doesn't, that guy to me is the best receiver in the conference, and probably the nation. Excuse me. I think he's definitely a first round pick, and he is. He has 9 or 10 catches a game. It's every game, and they'll double cover him. They'll still throw it to him, jump up, get it. He did have a big fumble in the Kentucky game that kind of turned the momentum around.
Bryce,
in the game.
Appreciate the phone call, sir.
One more question. How do y'all see the game Saturday?
I picked 38-17 Alabama. I think they're going to bounce back. I still think they'll have a few bumps on defense, but I think offensively they're going to be – I know that South Carolina's got a good pass rush, but I think Alabama will have a plan for that.
Yeah, is the Swamp Monster?
Are we going to have pick 2 tomorrow?
I think it's still remember, he had surgery on that arm, remember?
Yeah.
In the freeze.
Well, I'm thinking tomorrow? We got to score 50 to win. And yeah. Are we having pick 2 tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what happened last Friday?
I was going to a funeral.
Yeah, we had no pick 2 last Friday.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. I didn't know that. That's a good reason why, guys. I'm going to my.
I'm glad you approve, Bryce.
Well, I tried to say that as nice as I could, Steve.
Yeah, that was nice. Thank you, Bryce.
I didn't say excuse.
Thanks, Bryce.
I said
it.
Hey,
excused
I'm
absence.
going to my. I'm going to my granddaughter's 2nd birthday. I'm going to Dallas.
Well, happy birthday.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to her, man. Safe travels.
Thank you, Bryce.
Hey, guys, I appreciate
rest of
you
the
letting me talk.
Thank you, Bryce.
Thank you, Bryce. The rest of the schedule, absolutely. That's a long trip. We can vouch for that. Ole Miss, the rest of the schedule after their trip to LSU, host Oklahoma, Arkansas, host Georgia, at Florida, host Mississippi State. For LSU, the undefeated SEC team, of course, they only have one SEC win, and that's at South Carolina with some help. At Arkansas, at Texas A&M, host Bama, at Florida, host Vanderbilt, and then host Oklahoma.
That 6 months ago, I didn't think that was hard. But, the way
Looks-
Arkansas is playing right now, the
Yeah.
way Texas A&M is playing, Alabama, of course, is a good football team. It's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
T-Bob
may need a sedative.
If they start losing, he will.
And they've rattled off now 4 wins in a row after that opening loss to USC.
To me, it's all on can they score enough points without turning the ball over? Because they have to score. The defense is getting better, but they don't have anybody that can cover Trey Harris or anybody that can cover.
No, their secondary is
2 or
like
3.
ranked 103rd in the country.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
awful.
So one thing that was kind of glossed over, the win at South Carolina for Lane Kiffin was win number 100 for Lane Kiffin.
All right, yeah,
And LSU should not have won at South Carolina.
He's
Thanks to Bo, Larry, and Curley.
150 as a head coach.
Well, so in my opinion, of the teams I've watched, the best defensive line is at Kentucky.
Yeah, there's some. They got some.
And the
dudes.
second best defensive line, but not the most consistent defensive
Tennessee?
line. I think it's Ole Miss.
Do you really?
Yes.
Ole Miss, Tennessee, they're all better than Alabama, and that's pathetic.
All right, head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. Click on the zone deals. Get $50 worth of Full Moon Barbecue just for $25. I really thought about playing this rant, the tin horn rant, but we've used the dump button enough this week.
Yeah, I think
we've used the dump button
we got
enough.
the tin,
And then one
we got
time
tin
we
horn
didn't
with
use
us.
Yeah,
We got the
sorry
10.
about that.
Pick 2 comes up tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.